Welcome to the First Word Podcast, a podcast created by the culture for the culture. No resellers or hype beasts allowed. I'm your host, Reap, and this is episode 1, where it all started. So, a little background on myself. I've been collecting, buying, selling, trading sneakers for at least 20 years at this point, give or take. I've been in and out of retail since 2012, so I have, a different outlook on the sneaker game. I got a different perspective being on both sides of the gate as a consumer as well as a retail worker. I also have a sneaker YouTube and a sneaker TikTok channel, so I'm on the creative side, quote unquote, a little bit as well. I do create content, but it's not like, full on skits. I basically, show my pickups, the typical. I might hop on some trends or like trending sounds that make sense to like what I like to do, what I like to show. But yeah, I wanted to start this podcast because, I just wanted to do something out of the norm for sneaker podcasts. I feel like the typical sneaker podcast, for one, the names are like a play on soul, kick, sneakers, something, along those lines, which is cool. My first few names for the channel were definitely geared around those, but I wanted to differentiate myself because anything that I thought of or I thought was clever, I would Google it, then I would see that name is taken or is something similar. I even had some help from ChatGPT, and it took a good 3 days to really hone in on one particular name that wasn't taken or too similar to another one. So first wear, I really wasn't feeling it at first, but after a few different groups of names that didn't work out, first wear just kept coming up. And once I saw the breakdown of why that name, it definitely resonated with me and kind of my direction for this channel or this podcast. First wear, that is very relatable. I want this podcast to be, like I said, for the people, by the people. I want to talk about the topics that hit home for us, so make sense to you. I don't want to do the typical what's coming out this week. What are our new pickups? Do you think these will move? Do you think they're gonna sit? Should I wait till they go on sale? You can get that from the other podcasts. I don't want to be just another sneaker podcast that talks about the same thing. Of course, it's going to be sneaker centric. It's a sneaker based. It's a sneaker podcast. But I'd rather talk about stories or topics that the community wants to relate to, what they want to talk about. I'm really tapped in on sneaker TikTok and sneaker Twitter, so if there's any topics that are really going crazy over there, I'll bring it over here. If you're not on that side, then I'll talk about it. But I really my vision is definitely for the listeners, anybody that stumbles across this, to submit topics that you want to hear, when you want to interact. I want this podcast to be interactive. I want whoever decides to give me a chance and listen to me, I want it to be interactive. I want you to engage with the community. I want to build a solid community, even if it's only 10 people. I mean, hey, if you're engaged and listening every week and you're giving me topics every week, that's all I want. I don't need to be the top podcast. I don't want to take over the top spot. I want to be the appetizer starting a week for your main podcast that you listen to, so you can get the weekly wrap-ups and the pickups and all that. But yeah, first wear, it's just that feeling. I just want that good, feel good, type of vibe, type of energy. Everybody can relate to that, whether you have 200 plus shoes or you have 5, maybe 10. Or even if you just have that one pair of shoes that you love, and after you run them into the ground, the color is completely different from when you purchased it, and it's time for you to get a new pair. And the first time that you put that fresh pair on, that first wear, you get a different feeling. You feel good, and everybody can relate to that. You get that fresh fit, and you unds a pair of shoes that you've been waiting on. Perfect day, 70 degrees, it's real crispy. The air is nice, fresh. You feel good about yourself. So that's kind of where I want to go with this particular podcast, hence the name First Wear. I want that fresh, feel good vibe, energy throughout this journey. So hopefully, if you happen to listen to this, hopefully you see the vision and you want to be a part of that. Like I said, I want to build a real community, solid community I want this podcast to really be for the culture. Like, I want those, those underground conversations or topics that, like I said, affect us. Like, of course, if there is, like, breaking news in the sneaker community that really will affect us one way or the other, I'll touch on it. But I'd rather, just tell stories, man. Like, something that invokes a positive feeling, instead of the negativity that we see now with the reselling and blah blah, cop and drop, worried about money, how you gonna, but I don't want that to be about that. So with that being said, I want to keep this like intro short and sweet. I'm not sure how long we are now, but I want to keep it within 30 minutes or less. Like I said, it's the first episode, and I want you to get a feel for me, whether you want to continue to listen or this is not for you. Either way, appreciate you for giving me a shot regardless. So yeah, the main topic today basically give you the sneaker that started it all for me and why I'm to this point I am now. Like, if you're watching the video, you can see I have a background with my sneakers, or a good amount of them. I have them like surrounding the room. But yeah, I'm all over the place with sneakers, man. I really truly love sneakers. I'm really in tune with the sneaker gang, sneaker culture. It's not just one brand for me. It's like sneakers as a whole, from the mainstream stuff to the independents, Saya, John Geiger, Rock Deep, Kizzo, and then of course, Saucony, Reebok, Asics, Jordan, you name it. Like, I have it. But yeah, the first pair that really made me feel like I'm here. Like, I'm in this sneaker game for a long haul. Summer of 2000, that was the summer going into my 7th grade year. I was at Paul Webb basketball camp, and the Olympic 7s dropped. So of course I had to get my mom to, do something out of the norm and wait in line or camp out. I can't remember, 'cause like I said, I wasn't there. Just that feeling that I got, I was really anxious like all day. Because, when I had the time, or like free time during camp, when we had our breaks or whatever, like, I'd check in with my mom to see like what was going on. And when I finally got the confirmation that she picked up my pair, man, it was so crazy. I could not wait to get home to get them. And I remember she was like, "Hey, I am never doing this again. If you want another shoe like this, you got to be out there yourself." She was like, "This is the first and last time that she's ever doing something like that." I guess it was crazy, even back in 2004. And the Olympic 7s, man, it's just one of those shoes now. I don't know if it was just the feeling that I got or the shoe itself, but that is my favorite shoe of all time. If anybody asks me over the years, it's never changed. It's the Olympic 7. The colors, like, if you read the colorway on the box, like, it doesn't seem like they go together, but like when you see the shoe, it's just, I don't know, it's just something about the Olympic 7s, man. Then it's like the only Jordan 9, or like the OG Jordan 9s, that doesn't have 23 on the back. It has a 9 on the back. So it's something different. It has the plain tongue, like most of the Jordan 7s had like the abstract tongue, the Mitch-Mac tongue or whatever with the design. I want to say the Cardinals and the Olympics might be the only two that I can think of that just has the plain tongue. But I don't know, it's just like that feeling that I got to finally get that retro, and that like really started my journey. Like, I always liked shoes growing up, of course. That's what made me like want to get the Olympics, but like that kind of catapulted me into like where I am today. It's like I hit the ground running with, those Olympic 7s. So that's like my first real story, or like my story of what made me start collecting them, honestly. So yeah, that short and sweet, man. That's gonna do it for episode 1. Really the introduction. So I just wanted you to get a feel of like who I am, what I'm about, why I chose the name, why I chose to start this podcast. So hopefully that was enough to like at least pique your interest to tune in to episode 2. I think episode 2, I'll probably touch on retail, working in retail just a little bit. Just peel the curtain back just a slight bit, so you can, you can see what's up just a little bit. Like I said, I'm definitely open to all topics that you would be interested in. All my socials and everything will be linked down below, the link tree, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. I do have a Google form, so if you want to be more discreet, or want to be more professional, you don't want to slide into the DMs, I get it. Just go ahead, hit the Google form, and you can submit your topics that way as well. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to go on this journey, start this journey, begin this journey, build this community. I really think we can execute this vision, you know, y'all want to join me on this journey. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, man, buy what you like and love what you wear. It's the First Wear podcast, man. We just getting started. And for those of you out there, yesterday you said tomorrow. The time is now.